I just love San Quentin, my 10-foot long American cichlid tank, and the inmates are about to get some new friends. Two of the coolest fish I'll ever own. And it won't be without some surprises.
To tell you the truth, I really didn't even want to make a video today. It's the last day of Labor Day weekend for me, and I just wanted to kick back and not do much. But here's the thing. I want to move Buck, my True Parrot, from the 55-gallon grow-out tank into this tank, and my Vieja, who's in a 23-gallon grow-out tank with Eel Longoria and a Nicaraguan as well. But I don't want to do that when I'm not around to make sure they're going to be okay. Buck is a very peaceful South American fish. And if I put him in here, I'm a little concerned that Kevin, my electric blue Texas cichlid, Sylvia, my Salvini, and also Percy, my wild Colombian Oscar, they could end up picking on Buck, and I want to be able to take action and put him back in the 55 if I need to. I think the Vieja is going to pretty much be okay because he's smaller and he can find a lot of hiding spots in the tank. And also he's a little bit more on the aggressive side, so he should be able to hold his own. He's not that small that he shouldn't be able to defend himself against these guys. But let me talk about this net that I've had just sitting in the tank doing nothing for about a week now and why I'm doing that.
Yeah, just sitting there like this is normal decor for a fish tank. And everyone seems to be okay with it now that it's been there so long. I've tried to position it somewhat close to the front panel so that I can just swoop it quickly once the little Jack Dempsey swims in front of it, which I've seen him do. Let's catch ourselves a fish. Maybe. They're kinda staying away from it right now. Sylvia's getting somewhat close, but I'm not after her, so that doesn't help. Now for my genius trick, dropping some food in front of the net. Too bad I'm not after Percy the Oscar. Offer a few more pellets? Sometimes they follow my hand. I saw the young Jack Dempsey do that this morning, actually. But not now that you're watching, of course. Come on, man, this is embarrassing. More food? Percy feeling completely safe. Maybe this will work better at the bottom of the tank. Kind of, for everyone except the one I'm after, of course. And I'm tired of trying. I give up. But check out how easy it is to catch one you're not after. I don't understand how they know, but they do know I'm not planning on catching them, so they just go right into the net. Have no fear at all.
And here's the funny thing. This morning, I totally could have caught that little tiny Jack Dempsey because he was right in front of that net, but I didn't have my camera set up and I also didn't have the light on, so you wouldn't be able to see much at all. I didn't do it. So I wasn't able to catch him this morning, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that net back in here after I get the other guys switched around and added to this tank. Then I'm gonna try to catch him in the next couple days. If I don't catch him, he's probably gonna be okay anyway. I mean, it's a huge tank. He has plenty of room to swim around and try to escape an attack from Buck, but I don't think Buck's gonna really be going after him, but we'll see.
Buck is staying in this 2-star grow-out hotel, and I think he's going to appreciate the upgrade when I get him into San Quentin. He's definitely one of the coolest fish I've ever owned. I've wanted one since I saw one in the Cichlid Bros videos, and I was sad to hear it when theirs died. And when Buck arrived, he had a sunken belly and wouldn't eat, so I was afraid he was going to die too. But I saved him, and he's been doing great for quite a while now. I'm going to feed him before the move since he might not eat for a while due to nervous tension. And I like to hand feed him. He reminds me a lot of Ferk II, back when I used to feed him by hand. Ferk II was one of the best fish I've ever owned. But to tell you the truth, I like this guy even more. One more pellet for the road? Isn't he cute? Yeah, he is cute. He's about 7 or 8 inches long right now, and he'll easily get up to 14 inches in San Quentin. And now it's time to do the dirty work. San Quentin is just outside the office where Buck was staying, so it's not much of a trip. I have the light on now so you can see this part better, but it's going off here in a second to keep stress levels down, and help him hide in the shadows if necessary. And pay attention here, because this part's important. Now it's time for you to
subscribe, or someone dies. Ding ding.
Look how big Buck is compared to the Chocolate Cichlid and Sparkle Joe, my green terror. Checking the place out with an escort from Sylvia the Salvini. Salvinis are pretty aggressive fish, and she's going to surprise me big time in a little bit. But Buck is going to surprise me too. I always give him a little food once I introduce a new fish, just to take the edge off. So even though the light is off, which isn't great for video, I want you to see how this docile giant handles himself when confronted with my a-hole electric blue Texas cichlid, Kevin. Other fish don't care for Kevin much. That's because he's a dick, and he's ever too eager to let everyone else know it. It's really hard to see, but if you look hard, you can see Kevin going at him. And what a relief that Buck is actually fighting back. This is a huge relief because I didn't think he'd defend himself at all. And if you look closely, Sylvia is there too. And watch what she does. She breaks it up. How cool is this? Let's ever so briefly drift back to another time, and I'll show you some well-lit shots of Sylvia. Salvinis have a reputation for being jerks themselves, but she has been anything but that. She leaves everyone alone except for Kevin, but she just chases him off mostly because, well, who wants Kevin around anyway? She's my tank boss, and she's even better than I thought because she's a peacemaker and a friend to the weary, as you'll see later. Okay, back to the present day. These two went at it quite a bit, but even though I was concerned someone might get hurt, I was still relieved to see Buck not putting up with Kevin's shit. Fortunately, no one winds up getting seriously hurt, too. And just wait till I show you Buck in the morning, and then a few days later. But for now, let's get that little Vieja in here. I tried the net trick in this little 23-gallon rimless tank from Landon, but I only put it in last night as an afterthought. And it didn't work here either. But you have to believe me, it does work great if you leave it near a smaller tank for a few days first. This guy's fast, but I'm gonna get him. And into the prison yard you go, little buddy. I thought he'd do fine, and since he's smaller, he really doesn't attract much attention from anyone except some of the smaller guys like the Severum, and that never amounts to much. Within a few hours, he's out swimming with everyone and seems much happier than when he was in that small tank.
Okay, well, it's morning now, and I have to tell you that yesterday went way more impressively than I thought it would, with Buck actually defending himself against the more aggressive fish in the tank, especially Kevin, the electric blue Texas cichlid. But how about that Vieja? I mean, in the smaller tank, he was always hiding. He never came out for anything except food, and then it was timidly. But in this tank, it's like this has been his home forever, and nobody's messing with him either. And I think that's because they're all focused on Buck instead of him. Let me show you what everybody's doing in the tank this morning, and then I'm going to tell you about a project that I have coming up with some new fish. It's a fish that I've mentioned before in my videos that I've wanted for a long time, but I never thought I'd be able to have. And it's a very nasty fish. I'm giving you a few hints right now if you don't know. I'm going to be growing a few of these fish out, and I'll show you where I'm planning on putting them.
In the morning, I'm really happy to see that Buck's fins and eyes have no damage. You never know what evil things are going to happen once you turn the lights off and leave him alone for several hours. Notice how Sylvia, the Salvini, is usually somewhere close by Buck. I'm pretty sure she's still guarding him against Kevin. Such a good fish. Really shocking behavior for a Salvini, since usually they'd be the ones causing the trouble. He also seems fine with his new surroundings and isn't hiding as much. The Vieja is still good too, of course, but wait until I show you them after they've been in here for a few days. I'll run those clips after the video seems like it's over. Having Buck in here has made such a huge impact on the tank, and I absolutely love him, and it's so cool to finally see him here in San Quentin.
Okay, on to that special project I was talking about. So I've been talking about this fish and looking for this fish online for about a year now, and I never see it available. And it's available now at Wet Spot Tropicals in Oregon, and so I ordered it. I ordered 6 of them. I only want 2. I want a male and a female, but I think if I get 6, that'll allow for maybe some losses that happen during shipment or shortly after, and also it'll give me a bigger chance of getting a male and a female. But let me show you what my plan is for these fish, where I'm going to be putting them, and how excited I am to get these guys.
They'll start out right here in my small 20-gallon tank because I don't have their new tank up yet. They'll be fine because they're only going to be about a ½ inch or an inch long when they arrive. Once I get my new tank up and running in this room with the 180, they'll stay here for a while as they grow out. Landon Aquariums is sending me a really cool rimless tank for this project. Once they grow out to about 3 inches, I'll be keeping 1 or 2 of them and putting them over here in the corner. Yep, I'm starting to put tanks in the garage like Ben Ochart. Well, not quite like Ben, but it's a start. Just wait till you see these new guys. It's going to be amazing. Next week.
Let me know what you think of what's going on in San Quentin and my Black Nasty project. And if you want to get updates on all my tanks, make sure you like and subscribe. But for now, that's a wrap.